Hello my peeps, this is part 2 of the prediction game video for Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton at Battleground for the Vacant WWE Championship. In this video, I'll go over the details as to why I picked Randy as the winner of this matchup. You know, my prediction, my pick, and I also might give some reasons as to why Bryan could possibly win this matchup. You know, I like to talk about different, the possible scenarios just in case, who I pick doesn't win. Anyways, why did I pick Randy? First off, let's just go over who has the momentum going into this pay-per-view. I mean, if you look at Raw, Randy Orton just freaking destroyed Daniel Bryan. He beat him up clean too. He didn't have the Shield to help him out or anything like that. At the end of the show, he just took out Daniel Bryan, threw him on the steel steps, hit a DDT on the floor, followed that up with an RKO through the announcer's table. That doesn't happen often. The RKO on the announcer's table, I mean, that happens, from time to time. But when it actually breaks the table, it's not a sight you always see. But yeah, it actually broke the table this time. Anyway, so Raw, Randy had the advantage. Took out Daniel Bryan in front of Brie Bella. And then, come time for SmackDown. Well, SmackDown was a different story. SmackDown, you had Randy and the Shield in the handicap match against the Big Show. Match ended by disqualification. Randy was attacking Big Show after the matchup, but Daniel Bryan made the save. He was about to take out Randy, put him in the S-Lock, but Dean Ambrose interrupted it, so Randy Orton just got out of the way, ran away, and Randy took down Dean Ambrose, while Randy just left and was on the stage, Daniel Bryan standing tall in the ring. So, as far as Raw goes, of course, Randy has the momentum going in. SmackDown, I mean, you could say Daniel Bryan has the advantage after SmackDown. So it's like, I like the fact that it was Raw was Randy's night, SmackDown, Daniel Bryan's night. While last time, if you look at Night of Champions, Daniel Bryan had the advantage, had the momentum the entire week over Randy. He beat Randy on Raw, beat Randy on SmackDown. Not in the matchup, but, beat him up. So, as far as the momentum goes, I mean, both kind of have the momentum. If you just look at the most recent show, then Daniel Bryan has the momentum. But when it comes to this matchup, it's one of the very few times where I didn't really factor in who had the momentum. I didn't really care, because before I even knew Daniel Bryan got the advantage on SmackDown, and Randy had the momentum going in, after Raw, I was like, despite that, I still think Randy's going to win the matchup. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, I'll just, go over it really quickly, sum it up really quickly, because I talk about this a lot. Usually, whoever has the momentum, whoever beats the other person up before their pay-per-view matchup, they usually end up losing. So, Randy beat up Daniel Bryan on Raw. If this was any other pay-per-view, then I might have went with Daniel Bryan winning, but in this scenario, I still think, Randy's gonna win. And I think one of the reasons for that is Night of Champions. Look at Night of Champions. Like I said, Daniel Bryan had the momentum going into the pay-per-view, going into the matchup. He, took out Randy both on Raw and SmackDown. And I went with Randy winning that matchup. But what happened? Daniel Bryan won the matchup. A lot of people were expecting Randy to win the match, but actually Daniel Bryan won it. So I'm not going with the whole momentum thing, at least for this match. For this match, I'm not looking at, okay, this guy has the momentum, or this guy has the momentum going into the show. I'm just thinking about what makes more sense, and it's still a hard match to predict. Although I am going with Randy, I could possibly see Daniel Bryan picking up the victory. But another reason why I'm going with Randy here is the fact that Randy right now he's going back to the old Randy, the Viper Randy, the remorseless Randy Orton that just takes people out. Recently, instead of the punt, he's been putting people's heads in between the chair and stomping on it, or, hitting a knee drop on it or whatever. And it just seems like the Randy losing right here would kind of, I don't know, kind of ruin this phase, this Randy Orton going back to the old Randy. While on the other hand, if he wins the matchup by like being more vicious in the matchup, it does a lot more good for Randy. And here's the thing, I think this feud is going to end, I don't think it's going to end at Battleground. I think it's going to end at Hell in a Cell. And if Daniel Bryan wins this matchup here, why would Randy get another matchup? Why would Triple H and Stephanie McMahon once again give Randy another shot and still trust him? When after Night of Champions, you know, Stephanie McMahon got up to Randy and told Randy, you deserve to lose, because you know you're no longer the remorseless Viper, the remorseless Randy Orton, and that's what Randy Babe wants. So I don't know if he loses, will they still support Randy? That's the thing. So I'm thinking it just makes more sense for Randy to win this matchup, and then Daniel Bryan could find a way to once again get one last match, one last title shot against Randy, either by winning some sort of #1 contenders match or some other way. But like I said, if Daniel Bryan wins this one too, then he would have beaten Randy at Night of Champions. He would have also beaten Randy at Battleground, two shows in a row. And Randy, pretty much the only victory he'd have over Bryan is the Money in the Bank cash-in. So why would he get another title shot after also losing at Battleground? Although, you know, things like that have happened. For example, when Randy was feuding with Christian, Randy beat Christian on SmackDown when he beat him for the first time for the title. He beat him also at Over the Limits. He beat him also at Capital Punishment. Then finally on Money in the Bank, Christian won, and it was by disqualification. So Christian lost a bunch of matches against Randy, but kept getting title shots. So it's also a possibility that, okay, maybe Randy loses, but in the end, at Hell in a Cell, you know, finds a way, or you know, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, you know, give him the title shots one last time, one last shot for Randy, and he finally pulls it off and finally beats Daniel Bryan at Hell in a Cell. But I think the other scenario, you know, with Randy winning at Battleground and then Daniel Bryan still chasing for the championship one last time at Hell in a Cell is more likely to happen than Randy chasing at Hell in a Cell. I also feel Randy needs this victory more than Bryan does at Battleground. So, you know, Daniel Bryan wins the Night of Champions, Randy wins at Battleground, and then they could have the tiebreaker at Hell in a Cell. But if Bryan wins also at Battleground, then, like I said, why would Randy get another title shot? Why not give that title shot to somebody else? So, I think that's pretty much it as far as reasons why I think Randy's going to win this matchup. And as far as Daniel Bryan goes, well, you know, it has a lot to do with the scenario of Daniel Bryan holding the WWE Championship and Brie Bella holding the Divas Championship. That's one of the main reasons why, you know, I was like going back and forth with this matchup, because I could see, you know, both Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan holding, you know, both championships. You know, well, Brie Bella holding the Divas Championship, and of course Bryan holding the WWE Championship. But that doesn't necessarily need to happen at Battleground. That could happen at Hell in a Cell. Daniel Bryan, like I said, could win the championship at the next pay-per-view. And also, a quick question. If Daniel Bryan wins the championship this Sunday at Battleground, would that make Daniel Bryan the person with the most WWE Championship victories in the shortest amount of time? Like, you know, winning the championship at SummerSlam, and then Night of Champions, and then also Battleground? I think so. I don't think anybody's won the WWE Championship 3 times in such a short period of time. Although, actually, Randy, I remember him winning the championship at a pay-per-view. I don't remember which pay-per-view it was. It might have been Night of Champions. He won the championship, and then Triple H beat him for it, then he won it again that same night. But that was about it. I don't think Randy then lost the championship soon after and won it back again in a very short period of time. To make it, you know, 3 times, By the way, right there, I was trying to catch Daniel Bryan with the mid-air RKO, but I failed, so instead I just countered his missile dropkick and followed that up with an RKO. So anyways, I'm sticking with my prediction for this matchup, and that's Randy Orton winning the WWE Championship. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, as always, you can click that like button down below. I'd really appreciate it. And with that said, I'm out, guys. See ya.